What's going on, guys? As you can probably tell by the title of this video is going to be about some sort of myths that I personally believe come with owning your own business, because I personally think there's a conspiracy theory around this, and a lot of people have assumptions about business owners and really what they do and why it's stressful and all these different things. And I kind of want to debunk some of these myths in this video and kind of give my thoughts and opinions on it. And I really think some of these myths really prevent people from starting some sort of side hustle or business, and by debunking them and hopefully by giving my opinion on them, it's going to show you guys that are out there that are thinking about this that maybe starting a side hustle or business isn't as bad as you might think because of these conspiracy theories that really you can really look at as, in my opinion, they're not true. And I really hope by making this video, I really show some of you guys out there that some of these things I'm going to talk about in this video really aren't true, and that these myths that are behind side hustles, businesses, whatever you want to call them, they're not true. And then hopefully you guys will start your own side hustle or business and really take control of your financial future and really help yourself by bringing in additional income. This is one of those videos that I could make a part 2, so as always, let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see a second part to this video. I also want to apologize right up front because I did have a more creative scene. I wasn't going to film right in front of the whiteboard, but I really did have a creative idea for this video, but unfortunately it is raining today, so that kind of shot that in the foot, because I'm really not going to bring all this camera equipment outside in the rain and risk ruining any sort of it. But if you do get some value out of this, make sure to drop a like on the video. As always, if you want to subscribe, go ahead down below. Completely free to do so. Go ahead and subscribe. Let's get to 500 subscribers before the end of May. I'd love to do that. And anyway, guys, let's just get right into the video. So the first real myth that I think comes with owning your own business or starting your own side hustle is if you build it, they will come. Now, obviously, if anyone's seen Field of Dreams, you know what I'm referring to here. But I really think people think if they start some sort of side hustle or business and they just put anything out there, people are ultimately going to buy it.
Shut up and take my money.
Now, if you want to be successful and you want to have a successful side hustle or business, you really have to ask yourself, what sort of value can you bring to people? What value can you bring to people that are going to lead them to continue to come back? Let's take a restaurant, for example. If you open a restaurant, you have to somehow separate yourself from the rest of the pack, where you want people to spend their money and eat their meals at your restaurant as opposed to anywhere else. If you're just putting some sort of really not great quality burger on the menu, maybe you got some fries on there, something that anyone can get anywhere and you can get the equivalent to any McDonald's that's on every single corner, it's really going to be tough to keep that audience coming back, keep those consumers coming back into your restaurant over a long period of time. I know me personally, there's a lot of restaurants out there that I will go to and I will eat at, and I'll eat at regularly, but I'm only gonna do it if I'm in the area. I'm not really willing to travel too far to eat at these restaurants. But then there's some I'm definitely willing to travel to go to. I'm definitely willing to travel and go eat at because they're just that good. And that's the kind of value that you want to bring to really everyone when you're starting some sort of side hustle or business. Obviously, with this example with the restaurant, you're bringing value in the form of satisfaction because you're satisfying a customer's needs of their hunger. And that's really what you want to do. You just want to bring as much value to the consumers that you can over a period of time. And the thing that's hard about this is if you start doing this right from the jump, you're putting out quality, whatever it is, quality food, quality videos, quality blog posts, whatever, quality products, whatever you're trying to sell, whatever you're putting out there, the chances are it's not going to see that great of results at first. Let's take the restaurant example again. Let's say you have a restaurant that's putting out the best food in the state, in your opinion. You are getting the best products, like they're good for you, they taste fantastic, what you name it, you got it. It's something that is for everyone. Well, the truth is you might not see a lot of traction at first. Maybe you just need to wait for the word to get out there. Maybe you just need to wait for your advertisement to kick in and people to see them. Maybe you just need to wait for people to do some research on your restaurant and just see what you have available. And for me, it's the same with this YouTube channel. I try my hardest not to think, all right, what does it matter what content I put out today? Like, there's only going to be 50, 100 people that are going to watch it. But I try to think, all right, what value can I bring to someone that is watching this video for the first time that's going to make them want to come back for more videos, that's going to make them want to subscribe? And I feel like if you're starting a side hustle or business and you can have that mindset, ultimately you're going to be pretty successful in the long run. And by doing this over the long term, I really do believe you are going to see great success. As Warren Buffett always says, when a company does well, eventually the stock price will follow. And I personally look at this the same way when you're starting your own business. If you continue to bring value to people consistently, eventually the traction is going to follow. The second myth I really want to talk about in this video is that starting a business is only for certain types of people. I feel like everyone thinks when you think business or side hustle, you think you have to be the next Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk.
Guys!
Whatever the case may be, you have to be someone that's going to completely change the world. But in all reality, you really don't have to invent the wheel. And this is something everyone can do. Everyone can start their own side hustle or business in a niche that they really enjoy, and they can really see great success in it. And you don't have to be that type of Gary Vee mindset person where it's just grind, 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 24/7, gotta change the world, yada, yada, yada. I personally think a lot of successful business owners that own small businesses just start off doing something small that they really enjoy doing that doesn't feel like work, and then one thing leads to another over a period of years. You can take, for example, really any YouTuber out there. I feel like a lot of the big YouTubers, a lot of the top dogs on this space, they really didn't have a plan to become a full-time YouTuber at all. They just started off doing it to maybe make a little extra money, have a little extra income. Maybe they just enjoyed editing videos and they had some photography skills. Then one thing led to another. Then they developed clothing lines, they had merchandise, they had other products they offered, and boom, here they are today. The important thing to remember here is that when you first start a business or side hustle, it's something that you enjoy and that you really don't mind doing, and it's just something you do in your free time and it doesn't feel like work at all. And then over a period of time, you will see great success and one thing will lead to another and you will climb that ladder. You can take me, for example, these videos I make, some people probably think that see me post these videos on my Facebook, Instagram, they're like, why does he even bother putting out so much content? Because am I getting paid for it at all right now? No, I'm not getting paid a cent at all. I'm actually not even halfway there, I think. But it's something I enjoy doing. I really enjoy the editing. I really enjoy researching filmmaking. I like being creative. And I feel like this is a very creative outlet for me, so I genuinely enjoy doing it. Can it be stressful at times? Yes, absolutely. But the point I am trying to make here is that I'm not doing anything special. I'm not overly smart. I'm not overly talented. I just have a vision. I really like to learn things about filmmaking. I like to learn things about finance, and I really just like to talk about them in general. And this goes for a lot of people that are starting their own business or side hustle, and it's something you should really take into consideration when starting one. The next myth I really want to debunk about starting a business or side hustle is that you have to work long and grueling hours. Now, don't get me wrong, you are going to have to put in work, and it is going to be a grind, especially if you're doing this on the side from your day job, which takes up 8 hours or more of your day, depending on what you do. But at the same time, I personally don't believe you have to have that Gary Vee mindset where it's like grind, 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 24/7, work 8 hours at your day job, work 10 hours at night when you get home, and you really just lose a lot of sleep. You don't really see your friends. I really think there's a room for balance personally when you're starting your own side hustle or business. Something that I've said before on this channel and something I'll continue to say again, and this is going to make sense in a minute, this analogy, but you don't want to be too over diversified. So some people, I see them owning 50, 60, 70, maybe sometimes 100 stocks in their portfolio. And I just feel like saying you're too over diversified, because it's hard for me to believe as an investor, you like stock number one as much as you like stock number 100, let's say. I personally think you're better off picking 4, 5, maybe 10, depending on how much money you have, different companies you truly understand at a high level, and just building a portfolio around those. And I personally think it's the same thing with business and when you're starting a business or side hustle. Rather than spending maybe 10, 12 hours after you get to work and not sleeping, I personally think you're better off spending maybe 3 to 4, maybe 5 hours after work working on your business or side hustle and just putting really, really quality time in there. This is good for a lot of reasons, but the main one is because you're not going to get burnt out, you're not going to feel tired, you're not going to get sick of it, it's not going to be a drag, and it's going to remain to be fun and something you're going to love to do. And the great thing about starting a business or side hustle, once you get into it and once it gets up and running and it is profitable, you're probably not going to have to spend as much time on it as you would before, and it's going to be more, I guess, second nature, you could say. And this can be done in a few ways. Obviously, when you're exploring new ventures, that's going to take up some of your time, but the old ventures, those really can be, I guess, automated more or less. And to put this more into perspective, like, you're going to get more used to it. So one example here is when I first started editing videos, they don't take me nearly as long to edit. Sometimes they do if I'm trying different things, different transitions, but the stuff I started doing, like the cuts and all that, those don't take nearly as long to do as they did when I first started, because I just have a routine and I have it down. Another way is you might hire employees and you might be able to outsource some of your stuff. So for example, if I were to hire a video editor, that would take some things off my plate. Then on top of that, the third thing is if your business really does start to scale and you are becoming really, really profitable and you want to go full time into that, you can obviously quit your job, and that's going to free up another 8 hours of your day right there. The fourth myth I want to debunk on this list is you can't have a full-time job and start a business or a side hustle because you don't have enough time. I feel like a lot of people have this mindset where it's set an alarm, get up, go to work for 8 hours, come home, drive home, even though you probably don't drive to work anymore these days, but you come home and then you sit, relax for a couple hours, watch some Netflix, go to bed, and then repeat 5 days a week, and then sit around and lounge on the weekends and relax. Now, there's nothing wrong with this lifestyle at all. I know a lot of people that live this lifestyle, a lot of people are very happy living this lifestyle, and that should be important. As long as you're happy, that's really the important thing. And I'm not saying you have to grind 150 hours a week, by no means at all, but look at it this way. So your job takes out 8 hours of your day, right? Then you sleep for 8 hours a day, let's say. Obviously, some people sleep a little more, some people sleep a little less, some people work a little more, some people work a little less. But let's say 16 hours of 24 hours are taken up by sleep and your job. So you have 8 hours remaining. How are you spending that remaining 8 hours? Now, obviously, you might like an hour or so to wind down, eat, spend time with your family, your significant other, whatever the case may be, and that makes a lot of sense. But the point I'm trying to make here, and this doesn't even take into consideration like the weekends or the days you have off, those days that you have a little more free time, but the real point I am trying to make here is that it's very realistic to spend 2 or 3 hours a day working on some sort of vision, some sort of passion, some sort of business or side hustle that you truly believe in. Take me, for example. I usually get up around 5, sometimes a little before, sometimes a little later, depending on the day. And I'll work on stuff like this. I'll look into companies. I'll do different sorts of things from 5 to 8. Then I'll go to work for 8 hours. Then, depending on the day, sometimes I will jump back into doing some YouTube stuff and some stock research, depending on the day. A lot of times I leave, I'll go to the gym, I might go play golf. Then I might come home and work for another hour or two, and then I go to bed. And I don't feel run down a lot of time. Like I said, sometimes it's stressful, but when it really gets to be too stressful, I just take a step back, I reevaluate, I rest up, and then I get right back into it. And I feel like by doing this, for me personally at least, it's a very successful, it's a very maintainable, and I really enjoy it, and I feel like I am going to see great success over the long term by continuing to do this. Then the last myth I really want to debunk on this list is that you have to be young to start some sort of business or side hustle. But the truth is you really don't. Now let me start off by saying it might be easier to start this in your 20s because you might not have children, you might not have a mortgage, you might not have different responsibilities, but the point is there is by no means, there's no reason why you can't start a business or side hustle in your 30s, 40s, 50s, even your 60s if you find something you're really passionate about. The average age for a business owner when they start is 45 years old. And I feel like there's just this conspiracy theory, there's just this thing out there that everyone thinks that you've got to be young to start this, and you really don't have to at all. There really are tons of success stories of people starting a business or side hustle outside of their 20s and executing on all cylinders and having just overall great success. Now, let me just say, I'm also someone that I really believe in. If I have this vision, if I have this idea, I'd rather just go after it and see what happens and know whether it was success or a failure, rather than just live the rest of my life wondering what could have been if I ever just took that first step forward and tried. And I feel like this is a great mindset to have. I feel like this is a very successful mindset. And personally, I would see if you can adopt this mindset, because you never know what opportunity you could be missing out on. There's some people I know, they just started one thing and that led to so many different things, and they probably think back like, wow, imagine if I never, ever started that. Imagine if I didn't stick with that, where I would be. I would be so much further behind. And there's nothing wrong with that, but the thing is, you could be missing out on something you truly love, you're truly passionate about, that you could have a lot of success in, that you're really good at, but you never take that first step forward and try. So you just miss out completely. Overall, final thoughts here. Is it worth starting a business in my eyes? I personally think yes, it absolutely is, for a lot of reasons that I've talked about so many times on this channel. But there is one thing I've never really talked about on this channel, and one reason why. And that's because entrepreneurs are actually the happiest employees, let's say. They're not really employees, but they're actually the happiest people on the planet. And the reason behind that, and this might not be like this at first when they're first starting up their company, but once things get up and running, they're doing things they really love to do every single day, day in and day out, and it doesn't feel like work at all. So your job might feel like work, but someone's out there that's working right now and it just doesn't feel like work at all, and they're having fun doing it. It's just what they do in free time. That's their Netflix working on their business because they genuinely enjoy it. So if you do have some sort of vision or some sort of passion that you really want to monetize, that you really want to go after, my recommendation would be absolutely go do it, because what's the worst that could happen? What is the worst that could happen? Because you can get any material item back, you can never get back your time, and you might just be living in a world where you think, what could have happened if I just took that first step forward and started? Anyway guys, in saying that, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see a part 2 to this video. I wouldn't mind making a part 2 to this video, and then maybe I can put in that different scenic view that I had planned. Of course it's raining, but so we can't do that like I already mentioned, but let me know down in the comments if you want to see that. Love to hear from you guys. Anything else, any questions you have, I'd love to hear from you guys again, as always. And I'll see you guys in the next video.